Well, hello. It's Tyler here. So I posted a video on the Twit. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get this stuff out of the image. I don't want to make this look cluttered, even though my room is currently cluttered. I don't want this side of the room to look cluttered. So, anyways, okay. I think that's okay. Cool. Just to make sure. That's just my hat. Okay. Let's move it just here. That'll work. Okay. Well, hello everyone. It's Tyler here. So, I'm finally making this video. I have wanted to make this video for a long time, and what better time than now to do it whenever I have to stay home and I can't go to the bar, I can't go out to eat or anything because there's a corona out there scaring us all to death. So I thought it would be appropriate to do this video, and on top of that, I posted a video on Twitter, the Twit, and I was like, I posted a video of like my shelves here and stuff, and I was like, okay, who wants to see some videos of me showing off my collection bit by bit? And I got like 10 likes on that, which is huge for me because I'm not Twitter famous, y'all. I'm not famous by any stretch of the imagination. So so that was massive. That's a big thing for me because usually I'll get like measly, like if I'm lucky I'll get one like on something, but a lot of times I'll get 2 or 3 or 4 sometimes. But anyways, so here we are. We're making this video. I have my stack here. This is not the entire stack that I want to show off, okay? I'm going to show off my A's and my B's. And hopefully this will not be a very long video. I'm trying to think if I want to do A's and B's or if I want to do just A's. We'll find out when we do this video, okay? So, we're going to be showing off, just selling my records bit by bit. So that means that some of this stuff here we'll be seeing in the future. So, anyways, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so the first one we got here is, here, let me move this light. Okay, so we got Aaliyah's Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. This is it's a not bad album. It's just the fact that R. Kelly is on it. Because Aaliyah originally worked with R. Kelly. This is on white vinyl. This is the Record Store Day pressing that I got back in like I'm trying to think, it was like maybe 2014. Wow, it's really been that long? Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah. 6 years. Wow. Anyways. So, I like this album. I just don't like the fact that R. Kelly is on this, and on top of that, he's lurking in the background over here at Aaliyah, who is probably about 14 or 15 on this album cover, and the fact that this album is called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, that's a little questionable. But it's a pretty good album if you look past that sort of thing, but I try not to play it on Spotify too much because I don't want to support R. Kelly by any means. And it kind of pisses me off that this is the only record that's on streaming of Aaliyah's, not her later stuff, which is much better. The stuff that she did with Timbaland and Missy Elliott and that sort of thing, but that's that on that. A Taste of Honey. Some of these I forgot that I even had. Taste of Honey. I don't know if y'all know Taste of Honey, but they were sort of I think they were a one-hit wonder from the late 70s, 1978. They sung the song Boogie Oogie Oogie till you just can't boogie no more. They sung that song, which is one of my favorites. I apparently bought this for $3 several years ago. But hey, there we are. So let's see. So okay, I have to go from the back. Ooh, okay. So we're starting on my ABBA collection here. This is their first album, Ring Ring. If you notice, there's no anything that says that this is by ABBA. It says that it's Bjorn, Benny, and Agneta and Frida. And that was just sort of their placeholder name, is that they just went by each of their names. And ABBA, if you don't know, is the first initial of each of the band members. So, Agneta, Anna Frid, Frida, Bjorn and Benny, ABBA. So, I have not opened this either, which is funny. I haven't even played this. I haven't even opened it. But it's brand new, still sealed. Because it's a reissue. I can't afford the one from back in the day. It's very, very expensive. Okay, so the next one that I got is Waterloo. This was their breakthrough album. It was Waterloo. This is from 1974. This is the album that came out after they won Eurovision that year, with Waterloo, of course. But this is a really good album. I like this album a lot. King Kong song. I mean, their songs were really silly, but like they had a lot of power to them, and I really like that. Honey Honey, Watch Out. They had a remix version of Ring Ring on this version because they did not release their first album here in America. So that was the only way that Americans heard Ring Ring, was through this album. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay, next one that is not in a sleeve. I don't know why it's not in a sleeve, but we're gonna change that here in a bit. This is their self-titled ABBA. This is from 1975. This is where ABBA really took off, because this has Mamma Mia, SOS, Bang a Boomerang, I Do, I Do, I Do, just a whole bunch of really good songs. I think the only songs I don't like on this album is Man in the Middle and Rock Me, which is, ironically enough, the ones that was it Bjorn that sung? I can't remember. I think Benny is the one that done instrumentation and stuff. He never sung any songs. The other three did. But it was this guy. It was this guy that sung it, and I just don't... just leave it to the girls. And luckily they did, for the most part, on a lot of their albums. I think Super Trooper didn't have any tracks that featured him on lead vocals. Thank goodness. But overall, it's a really good album. Okay, this one is a gatefold, so I'm gonna show this one off without the sleeve, the plastic sleeve. This is ABBA Greatest Hits. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And if you look on the back there, it's really cute because it folds out just like that. Isn't that cute? This came out in 1976. This was right before they released Dancing Queen. So it doesn't have Dancing Queen on it. So it's not a complete Greatest Hits collection. So they released a volume 2 a few years later. Then we got the Gold album, which came out in like the early 90s. And that pretty much was the comprehensive ABBA collection, basically, for the novice ABBA listener. But anyways, yeah, so this is probably... I like listening to this album, honestly, because I have the cassette of it, and it was, I first heard this from when my dad had this album on cassette, and it had this album cover on it right here. So that picture of ABBA really takes me back, because it reminds me of my childhood and seeing that cassette and playing it and hearing Honey Honey and Mamma Mia and all those songs, Fernando. So yeah, cool stuff. Alright, I'll put that back. I think we got, do we have another one not in the sleeve? Ugh. Yes, okay, that's gonna change. Okay, this is ABBA's 1976 album Arrival. This features Dancing Queen and Money, 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 Knowing Me, Knowing You. When I Kissed the Teacher. Just some really good stuff, y'all. Like, really good. There's the inside picture there. I've actually found this album for 75 cents at Goodwill, and it plays fabulously. Have had no problems with it. I actually got this in a big haul of albums from ABBA, Carpenters, what was the other artist? I can't remember. I think it was like Susie Quattro or something like that. Anyways, like, I found a bunch of really good albums in one sweep, and this was one of them, and I was really excited to find this one because they had Dancing Queen on it. I think there was some other ABBA albums, but I didn't get them because it didn't have Dancing Queen. At the time, I wasn't like a big fan of ABBA. I just got it because it had Dancing Queen on it. So, okay, here's the next one. This is ABBA the album. This is from 1978, I believe, or 77. Sorry, it's from 77. This has Eagle, Take a Chance on Me, The Name of the Game. This was a big seller for them because it pretty much piggybacked off of the success of Dancing Queen, and they had another hit with Take a Chance on Me. This isn't a bad album. It's just kind of middle of the road here. But here's the next one that says, this is Voulez-Vous. I don't know. Is this a gatefold? No, it's not gatefold. 1979. This is when ABBA went disco. Like full disco, not like Europop, because a lot of people think that they're a disco group. They're not. They were a Europop group. Big difference. Okay, Dancing Queen was influenced by disco, but it's not a disco song. It's a Europop song. Get educated. Anyways, this has Voulez-Vous, title track. Angel Eyes. Oh, I love Angel Eyes. I Have a Dream. Chiquitita. Does Your Mother Know? Which is, kind of a questionable song. Okay, next one is ABBA Greatest Hits Volume 2, which I believe is also from 1979, because this came out right after Voulez-Vous. This is the gatefold as well. It just has pictures of the group, and they look very quaint. This is the next volume of the Greatest Hits, so this has their later stuff, which is probably the most well-known material in their discography. Gimme a Man After Midnight, Knowing Me, Knowing You, Take a Chance on Me, Money, 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 Rock Me, Eagle, Angel Eyes. Like, that's just the first side. Dancing Queen, Does Your Mother Know, Chiquitita, Summer Night City, I Wonder, Departure, The Name of the Game, and Thank You for the Music. Like, wow, that's wow. It's a great track list. Great track list. Okay, this next one, I love this one. This is a interesting one that I really like. This is same album, Greatest Hits Volume 2, but it is a Japanese pressing. I got this at my local record shop, and there was a few Japanese pressings of some albums, and I picked them up just to have it, just sort of as a niche, because it's really cool, and I love the OB strips that they have. I think that's what they're called, OBI or OB. I think it's OB. That sounds appropriate. But yeah, and it has the collage, which I just now realized. That's really cool. But it also has the group on here too. I've always found this really fascinating, especially with foreign albums, is that a lot of them, they'll have these pamphlets, and this is one of them, and it has a picture of the group, but it has the lyrics inside. If you look, in the inside of it, you fold it out, and there's lyrics. It has it both in English and Japanese. But what I really like is that they often would put like a bio or some sort of description about the artist on these pamphlets too, because I have several albums like that. Some of them are from Korea as well, but they're just really interesting, and I've tried to use translators and stuff to see what they say, and it's just kind of a run of the mill, just like, oh, this band was formed and blah 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 blah, and they had these hits and this year and that sort of thing. But it's really cool. It's really interesting. Okay. Next one is ABBA Super Trooper. This is becoming the ABBA collection. This is from 1980, and it has Super Trooper, The Winner Takes It All, Andante Andante, Happy New Year, Lay All Your Love on Me, which is one of my favorite ABBA tracks to come out in their later years. It's just a really energetic song, for sure. Yeah, this is one of the best albums. And then their very last album, The Visitors, 1981. This is a really cool album cover. It kind of reminds me of, like, I've often compared this to, like, just the red filter and the creepiness of it overall just kind of reminds me of, like, the scene in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with the evil queen, and when they're in her lair and that sort of thing, and it looks like she's about to, like, the magic mirror is about to emerge from this or something. But it's just, it's a cool album cover. It's really cool, and it's really fascinating that this was their last album, especially. And there's the lyrics. Yeah. So yeah, I think that completes the ABBA stuff. Yes, this completes the ABBA stuff. Alright, let's move on. We got Forever Your Girl, Paula Abdul. We love Paula Abdul in this house, okay? Don't judge me, because this album has a lot of bangers on it. Knocked Out, Opposite Track, Forever Your Girl, Straight Up, Cold Hearted. I mean, just some 80s bangers, man. I mean, this album was obviously influenced by Control by Janet Jackson, but, I mean, it's still a really good album, you know? Even though, like, Paula Abdul is sort of a product of her time. She was a good product of her time, nonetheless. And then I have... What else do I have? Shut Up and Dance mixes. This is basically a remix album. I keep looking over and I keep thinking there's something out my window, but it's just a reflection of, what is that? Is that a... Oh, it's a handle. Okay. It's a handle to my portable record player, and it's reflective, and I keep seeing my reflection in it, and I think there's something out my window. Anyway, so yeah, this is Paula Abdul's Shut Up and Dance mixes. This is a promotional copy, so it has the sticker When You Play It, Say It, which is a sticker that they give these copies to radio stations, and the When You Play It, Say It is basically like announce what the name of the song is and who sung it and that sort of thing. So, but this is just a remix album. It's nothing too crazy, but I do like the blue. There was a version that had the red text, and there was another version that had blue, and I got the blue because I really liked it. The blue overlay. Okay, next one is Spellbound. This is Paula Abdul's 1991 release. By the way, the Shut Up and Dance came out in 1990, and Forever Your Girl came out in 88. So, yeah, I didn't mention that earlier. So, let me see what is on these. Okay, so that's just the lyrics. But, this is... I remember getting this for, like, $1. Not this album, the CD. But, I remember getting this CD for, like, $1, and I loved it a lot. Just because it had so many good songs. Promise of a New Day, Rock House, Rush Rush, Vibology, which is kind of cheesy, but it's fun. You is also kind of... But it's a Prince track, though. That's the thing, is that's what makes it special, is that it's a Prince track. But This also has a bonus track on it called Good Night, My Love, Pleasant Dreams. And it closes off the album instead of Will You Marry Me, like the cassette and the CD versions. So that's kind of interesting, and it's really, really interesting that they done that, because a lot of record companies back in the late 80s and early 90s, they typically would not put bonus tracks from the CDs or cassettes onto the vinyl. And this was kind of the opposite. They put the bonus track on the vinyl, but not the CD and the cassette. So that's kind of interesting. I've always found that really, really interesting. I don't know. Is this a... I think it's an American pressing. I'm not sure. It looks like it is, because it would say otherwise. But it just says Virgin Records America, so I'm assuming it's an American release. But the sleeve is just really thin, because it came out in the early 90s when vinyl was just going out and everyone was buying CDs. This is starting to be a 20-minute video. Yikes. We're going to edit that. Oh, this is one I found last year. It's a 12-inch single, but I had to have it because it is a picture disc. This is the 12-inch single for Rush Rush by Paula Abdul. This was made in England because it has a sticker on it. But the album itself is a picture disc, which is really cool. What does the other side look like? It's just plain. Okay. That's cool how that it's a picture of her, and then there's another picture of her on the side. Cool stuff. That's just kind of a niche little thing. It's cool. I got it for like $4.99 at the record shop. I miss going to the record shop. Oh my god, I miss it so much. I can't wait until we get out of quarantine, because the first thing I'm going to do is go to the record shop. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, this is a 12-inch single for Ace of Base's Don't Turn Around. This was a random find. I think I actually got this when my favorite record shop first opened up. So this is kind of a nice little memento to remind me of that time, because I got a bunch of 12-inch singles. I got like Ace of Base, Janet Jackson, George Michael, I think, and a bunch of others. I can't remember. Yeah. Alright, and then we got Ace of Base is the Sign album from 1993. This is not a bad album either. I don't like this pressing because Sony just was lazy with this, because it just looks like they just blew up the CD. I hate it. Because if you really look at this, I know you probably can't see it on the camera here, but like up close, front and center, it's just very grainy. And it just looks very distorted, and they basically just blew up the CD. So it's just, but I mean, it doesn't sound bad. I played it a time or two. But with that said, this has some really good tracks, like All That She Wants, Don't Turn Around, Sign. Yeah, a bunch of pretty good tracks. Not bad. Dancer in a Daydream. Happy Nation is kind of creepy. So yeah, kind of interesting. Okay, this is kind of this is different than what we've been looking at, but here we go. All right, this is Alice in Chains album Dirt from 1992. I got this in the deep bowels of my grunge addiction. I loved Alice in Chains when I was a teenager. Absolutely adored them. And I got this whenever they reissued it, I believe. Oh, okay. It was 2009, so I got it a few years later. But this is the music on vinyl pressing. I'm not going to get it out because it's a sleeve within a sleeve. But yeah, this is a great album, dude. Like, this is like a quintessential grunge album. Besides, like, Nevermind and Pearl Jam's 10 and that sort of thing. But this has got, like, Rooster, Them Bones, Down in a Hole, Wood, Angry Chair. I haven't listened to this album in a long time, but it's a little too heavy for me nowadays. But I might change my mind eventually and just go for it and listen to this album sometime. Just to kind of harken back to that era of of my life when I was a angsty teenager. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all. Like, this is... I'm so glad we started with A's, because I get to talk about this freaking artist, which is like one of my favorite artists of all freaking time. And that is... Oh, ow. I bumped my elbow. Tori Amos. I love Tori Amos. Tori Amos is one of my favorites. She's kind of one of my heroes. But I just... Oh my god, this album in particular, Little Earthquakes, just a stellar debut album. How do you start your career with something this monumental? Like, you would think she would never top this, but she did with another album that came out a few years later, and I'll show you that album in just a minute. But anyways, this is Little Earthquakes from 1992. This I bit my tongue. This is a reissue. I believe it's a reissue from 2016, I think. But anyways, it has this picture of Tori right here. And then the back of it has a sort of retrospective about the album and when it came out and how Atlantic Records initially rejected it. And then they finally put it out. How they rejected something this great is beyond me. I don't freaking know. But I'm just going to say that every single track on this is spectacular. This album probably saved my freaking life. I'm going to tell you that right now. But the tracks in particular that I really like is Crucified, Silent All These Years. Oh my gosh. Precious Things. Intense. Winter. China. Leather. Mother. The title track, Little Earthquakes. Me and a Gun. She wrote that album. Trigger warning, this is about assault, okay? But she wrote the album about when she was raped when she was in her early 20s after she had done a gig. And it's one of the most poignant, one of the most beautifully tragic tracks about sexual assault that I've ever heard. It's honestly not one of my favorites, but it's only because of the subject matter of it just being so intense and so heavy. But I respect it a lot, and I still love it. I still enjoy it. I'll listen to it whenever I listen to Little Earthquakes. But it is a very intense track because there's no instrumentation on it. It's just her singing a cappella, and she also sung it a cappella live as well. And she had given money away to a lot of sexual assault organizations to help victims of sexual assault. And I respect her a lot for this, and I respect her a lot that she turned her pain into art. Like, that's my hero. Anyways. Sorry, I had to fangirl for a minute. So that's Little Earthquakes. Okay. So the next album is her sophomore album, Under the Pink, from 1994. I kind of have a bond to this album because this album came out the day after I was born, January 31st, 1994 in the UK. So I'm just a day older than this album. But this is from 94. This is probably Tori's breakthrough, especially in the UK. She had a lot of hits from this album in the UK, which is crazy to me because she didn't have anything like that here in the US. She had success on rock radio and stuff and MTV, but not with radio, like pop radio. But anyways, this album's got Pretty Good Year, God, Bells for Her, Past the Mission, Baker Baker, The Wrong Band, The Waitress. God, these are so many great songs. Cornflake Girl, Icicle, Cloud on My Tongue, Space Dog, Yes Anastasia. Yes Anastasia is gorgeous. Just immaculate album. So immaculate. Immaculate track is what I meant. But also immaculate album too. But what makes this special is that it is on pink vinyl. Under the pink. Pink vinyl. Makes sense. I had to pay a little extra for it. And this is an original pressing, mind you. But I love it. It's so gorgeous. But I had to have the pink vinyl. It's only appropriate because the freaking album's called Under the Pink. Duh. Why would I get black vinyl for an album called Under the Pink? That's like buying Joni Mitchell's Blue album on black vinyl. You have to get it on blue vinyl. And it was released on blue vinyl last year, and I bought it, even though I have the original copy on black vinyl. We'll show that off here in a bit. Later on. I might have to make a separate video just for Joni Mitchell's albums, because this, pretty much half, a little over half of this cubby hole here is Joni Mitchell albums. But anyways, that's another hero. She's a step higher than Tori, but that's only because Joni Mitchell has influenced me in so many ways that I cannot imagine. But she's right up there with Tori. Right up there with Tori. But anyways, this is the album that she probably topped Little Earthquakes with. This is just, it's an amazing album. I have trouble picking out whether Boys for Pele or Little Earthquakes is my favorite. I always say Little Earthquakes. But here lately, Boys for Pele has really struck a chord with me. Really struck a chord. I mean, just the intense rage on this album is just, it's unreal. Tori released this album in 1996, and this is definitely her most experimental album. I would compare it to something like The Dreaming by Kate Bush, just because it's just, it's a rager, man. It's a rager. But I had to get this on the limited edition Coke bottle clear vinyl. First, I'm going to show you the sleeve, because the artwork that she done for this album is probably my favorite. Like, this album cover is just incredible. It's based off of her Me and a Gun track from Little Earthquakes. As you can see, she's holding the gun, and she called it Southern Gothic, because she's sitting in a rocking chair, and there's a snake around right here, and there's a dead rooster right here. And it just looks like she's standing out on the stoop, and she's waiting on the dude that fucked her up. And she's like, try me, bitch. I love it. But this is the Coke bottle clear vinyl. It's, I just love this. It's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm trying not to curse too much in this. That's honestly the first time I've cursed in this video. That's 33 minutes. Wow, that's a good track record. But I'm trying not to curse too much, because apparently I do curse too much. So we're gonna try not to. But that was my free space. Oh gosh, I can't get this in. Come on. There we go. Okay. Boys for Pele, I adore this album so much. It has so many good tracks. I don't have the and I just put it in here. Yeah. Horses, Blood Roses, Father Lucifer, Professional Widow. Oh my god, Professional Widow is intense. Marianne, probably one of my favorite Tori Amos songs is Marianne. It's just a beautifully poignant track that she wrote about an old school friend of hers from when she was in like middle school. A little girl that died. Called a Light Sneeze, Muhammad My Friend, Hey Jupiter, Tallulah, Not the Red Bear, and Donut Song, In the Springtime of Voodoo. Whew, so good. I do have to say, Little Earthquakes is probably my favorite Tori Amos album, because there is a couple tracks on here that's kind of like, you know, but it's still a perfect album. I don't care what anyone says, it's a perfect album. Okay, this is a holy grail of mine, because this album is not cheap at all. I got lucky with this album and the next Tori album that I'm going to show you. But I have to show you this one first, because this is the next one that came out after Boys for Pele. But, this is my copy of From the Choir Girl Hotel, her 1998 album, her 4th album. This is a UK pressing. This is a kind of rare album. It's very expensive online. I bought this copy for $75 right before Christmas. So that was my Christmas gift to myself, was this album, because I love this album so much. This is probably one of the first Tori Amos albums that I truly fell in love with to its core, because the others, they sort of grew on me. Yeah, this is the first one that I fell in love with right from the get-go. But, Spark, Cruel, Black Dove, January, Raspberry Swirl, Jackie's Strength, Northern Lad, Hotel, Playboy Mommy, Pandora's Aquarium, those are all great tracks. Great tracks. And I'm just very blessed to have this on vinyl. Very blessed. I could have the American pressing, which is a 2 LP, but this is fine. It sounds great. It sounds fine. I'm happy and I'm content. Just the fact that I own this is enough. So, okay, here's the next rare Tori. American Doll Posse. This is her 2007 album. There are so many of her albums that are not released on vinyl, and I hate it. But at any rate, at least I have some of her albums on vinyl. But this is her 2007 album. It's a very convoluted concept album. I don't like the concept at all, but the album itself is really good. It's actually one of my favorite latter half Tori albums. But this is a gatefold, so I will show you the gatefold. This was sealed when I bought it, so I'm the first one to play this. But for some reason, this album is rare. I don't know why. I guess because it's just out of print. But yeah, it's just. But it's a really good album. Like Bouncing Off Clouds is one of my favorite tracks. One of my favorite Tori songs. You got her as the Sister Christian here. Oh, I love Tori's caricatures. But anyways, the concept is just, it's so convoluted and it's too much. You have to look past the concept in order to really enjoy this album. Like, I love Tori, God bless her, but honey, sometimes the concepts are just a little much. I love you, but oh my gosh, I'm glad she got out of that and just kind of went back to basics with Unrepentant Geraldines and Native Invaders, which I don't have and I need to get. And I also need to get Abnormally Attracted to Sin and Night of Hunters, because those are on vinyl as well, but I don't have those yet. And I was going to wait until this pandemic's over, because my local record shop has Native Invader, Unrepentant Geraldines, and Abnormally Attracted to Sin, and I was going to buy those there. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna do the A's, because this is much. Okay. All right. These are the last ones. I swear. Look how thick this is. This is not thick at all. But okay. Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier. This was a gift of mine from my friend Daniel. He is a huge Adam Ant fan. And I kind of dig this album. It's really interesting. Like, I just love how just very energetic Adam Ant is. Just some really interesting stuff. This is from 1980, I believe. Yeah, 1980. Ooh, some more Holy Grails. Oh my gosh, Fiona Apple. She's one of my heroes. Oh my gosh. And I love her new album, and I can't wait to have it on vinyl. But, this is her debut title. I love Title so much. This is a teenage favorite of mine, and it's still a favorite of mine all these years later. But this was a Vinyl Me Please exclusive. I jumped on this so hard because this album is just absolutely incredible. And they did so well with the design of this. So well. Like, I'm just like, wow. Like, y'all did great with this. I'm going to kind of go quick with this because I don't know how much memory I have left. So, but there's that. And then it had some little designs and it had a little promotion thing. But anyways, we're going to put that there and I'll put it back after I'm done with this. Okay, so the next one, the Idler Wheel. This is a recent reissue from Vinyl Me Please. This was her previous album before the one she just put out this month. Or what I'm filming this in April, but it's gonna be May when I put it up. But anyways, yeah. So this is her 2012 album. This is where the raw, sort of unbridled aspects of Fiona Apple kind of came into the forefront. Kind of when the Pawn was like the predecessor to that, but Idler Wheel it went into a tailspin, and then Fetch the Bolt Cutters came and was just like, I can do better. And finally, we have Joan Armatrading, which is one of Fiona Apple's faves, so that's pretty cool. I have not listened to this album. It was a $2 find, so I need to listen to it, because if Fiona Apple likes Joan Armatrading, then I'll probably like Joan Armatrading, so. Alright guys, there's my eggs. Wow, this is a 40-minute long video. I hope that I can condense this down to like at least 30 minutes, or at the most 30 minutes. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. There will be another video coming up. I promise I will keep this going. I might even post another video for the bees. Probably not in a week. Probably in a couple of days. Just because I'll probably get bored this weekend. So, anyways, thank you for watching. And I will see you soon. Bye.